Okay, hello, welcome back. Good evening, how are you guys doing? Welcome back to another stream. So, we're going to talk about a good recovery day is what it seemed like that we had this morning, and then as the day progressed, things kind of cooled off a little bit. I was very much in the green, and I was actually put a smile on my face today, so that was good. But we're basically back to 0% movements again, which is unfortunate. But some altcoins did have great movements. As you can see, some are making some good returns at the current moment. At one moment throughout this whole day today, everything was in the green that you're seeing on this list. I have faith. Things will continue to be better. It's just, I don't know. It seems like Bitcoin is really struggling to get past 113,000. It's like the bears know they're going to get very liquidated past 113,000, which they do not want, of course. So they're doing their best to kind of suppress the price, but they're just delaying the inevitable. We break 113K, we'll jump up to 117K. CME gap, short liquidations, FOMO, everything will happen, and we will be up there. Current price of Bitcoin, 111,628. My entry still 111,939. Like I said, it was in the green today. It was looking really good this morning. It still looks fine now. I'm not even too concerned. It's all good. So, in terms of news that we have to talk, there is some cyber attacks going on once again. Ooh, spooky. Maybe that's what's dropping the markets a little. But I don't think it's too severe. It's just hardware wallet stuff. I don't know. Seems like they can manipulate what do you call it? It's hard to explain to people who don't understand like web development. There are these NPM packages for JavaScript. I don't even know if you guys are gonna understand any of this, but it's something that like it helps with your code, right? You install a package that gives you like extra sets of commands or environments, whatever the case may be, to help your code run properly when you build it. And that has kind of been targeted by these cyber attackers. I'm just going based off of the little bit that I've seen, but we'll go into more detail about it when we get there. So, yeah, long story short, some addresses are getting modified. So people, who blindly click, oh yeah, send to one of these addresses that I have before, or send to a new address, your crypto might get sent to a malicious person's address, crypto wallet, right? So people are advising each other to watch out, pay attention, and do the right thing. My targets for Bitcoin remains the same, although after the Fibonacci that I drew, I got 2 levels here at 135,000, which just makes me really happy because, it kind of reinforces what I want to see. 135,047.1 as a take profit, right? So I'm going to be modifying the take profit to be this level right over here. Add a take profit there. Right there. Confirm. Good. That's my take profit for Bitcoin specifically. So, I mean, uptrend is still there. Everything is looking fine for Bitcoin. Nothing much has changed, making higher highs and higher lows. It's all good. Trend should continue. No big deal. I mean, except for this high, we couldn't really get past this, but there's a clear resistance at 113,000 that we're unable to fully get past yet. But, when we dip our toes in there little by little, should get us comfortable. Break 114,000 should... I'm expecting something to happen that will make us shoot up to that 117,000 area. And we didn't get too much volatility today. I mean, US markets being open, that's good enough for volatility, and we got some good movement this morning, but we need more. And what could bring that volatility is PPI data, CPI data, that kind of stuff can help us rise once again. So that's what I'm looking out for. That's going to happen Wednesday, Thursday. So good. Keep your eyes peeled. Ethereum, I'm still staying away from. 4,303. What do you call this price action? All right, anyway. Adjustment of the downtrend still there, technically. My order's not getting filled over there. Should I just buy Ethereum? How much was I putting in here? Hold on. 0.17 times 416463 is that 250. Okay. I don't know. I don't want Ethereum. Sorry. I'll just leave it there then. I would rather invest in other projects that I have more faith in. Ethereum just seems like such a boomer project at this point. Solana is looking really good though, really strong. Made a good high of 216 today. Man, it's been going great. Current price is 213 for Solana. We're at a resistance level, and of course, the high that we reached on August 28th. Uptrend is still there, keeps making higher movements, which is great. I would like to see the super trend cross 200. Should further reinforce, you know, the movement of Solana. I know it seems like I'm just cheering on Solana here, as I no longer have exposition on it, but believe me, I do. I have on my other standard futures account, Solana purchased at like 220, 230, so I'm still very negative, but you know, Solana will eventually rise. We have faith in the project, and I am well invested in ETFs right now, which my take profit finger is twitching for that, but I'm gonna, I don't know. I could have sold. Like, anytime you do want to consider selling something, check the RSI if it's overbought. That would be a good area to sell, which at this candle close, midday today, would have been an ideal area to take some profit, but I don't know. I kind of want to see Solana go higher, and like I said, I have other positions that are purchased much higher from earlier this year, like January. So I'd probably take whatever profits I have in my ETFs then when we do cross those levels. So we'll see. And these are the Solana ETFs in Canada, not the US. In Canada, we only have Purpose. Not only, but I guess they're the more popular, the only one that we really use to trade. So we're limited in what we've got. The government hates us. It's fine though. We make money regardless. XRP 295, bumping right off of the $3 mark. Super trend flipped up. We're back. Where's the uptrend? Okay. I'm assuming that. There's your stinking uptrend. Please load. Okay. Well, I've got a good liquidation price as well, 188. We've never hit that since June 22nd. Explosive growth from XRP also made me reluctant to enter. I've kind of got similar feelings to what I feel toward Ethereum when it comes to, like, should I enter into XRP, for example. And the reason I am entering XRP is because I feel like it's got more potential. It's dropped more, and when it moves, like, it does make its explosive movements. We did see good stuff for Ethereum, but I think it's a little too overbought, overexposed. XRP ETFs are not yet out, right? That could be a good catalyst to help bump it up. Ethereum ETFs are out, but, you know, the volume is mainly outflows during these times, which, I mean, one would suggest, yeah, that's a good idea to enter when others are outflowing. But I'd rather stay away from it. I have a good return here, but I don't think I'll take profits just yet. I'd wait for like all-time highs before I consider it. Oh, I already have a take profit at 333. Yeah, I think I've mentioned I might change that, but we'll see. I know it's a clear resistance, so we'll see when we get there. I'll leave it there for now. I'm pretty content with that. And we did hit overbought levels in XRP. I mean, if you did make any short-term trades, kind of like what I did, you could consider taking some profits. I mean, you could have considered taking profit, like, above this 298 resistance, right? But too late. So, cope, seethe, and mauled. Moving on. Sui, 348, up 3% today. Good movement, and already a great return on Sui. Higher, in my opinion. Can go much higher. Uptrend is back, so we're going to draw it. Downtrend is gone. We are so back. Okay, looks great. I like this for Sui. We hit a high of 444. Our all-time high is 535, I'm pretty sure. And that's where I have this take profit. I think I'll leave that there. I think Sui can make its movement. A swing upward like that absolutely can happen. And this is like a play that it'll take weeks. I'm not expecting to make this kind of money tomorrow. So just for you guys to keep that in mind. Chain link downtrend is still technically there. We do need a confirmation breakout of 2375 in order to resume our uptrend. I did DCA a little, or maybe a lot. How much did I put in here? Link. What? It says I bought here twice. And then here. How does this math does not add up? If I only have 500 in here. Did I take profits? Oh, I think I did. Yeah, I took profit immediately here. Okay, so this must have been 250 and 250. That totals the 500. Of course, as soon as things start rising, I'm like, oh, I wish I put more. I wish I put more. The issue is if you do put more, it's going to crash. Like, it's just going to go against you. That's just how the market works. It always goes against you. So you got to be prepared to defend yourself, right? No crying in the casino. Litecoin 113.51, actually kind of down today, but that's because we were a little bit up yesterday. I recall it was one of the only few that rose preemptively. Unfortunately, we did not break the 115, so it's still technically in a downtrend, and I mentioned I'd probably have to readjust it like that, something. So that's kind of what we got going on. Seems like we were heading a little higher right now. I'm still in the green. My entry is 112, current price, like I said, 113.50, and resistance at 120. After breaking 115, of course. So no uptrend drawn yet for Litecoin. I'll leave that there, and I might remove it from my favorites now that we got, I'll just show this. We got USDC pair for World Liberty Financial. At last, I can now trade World Liberty Financial with USDC. And I know this looks like a big blob, but that's because we don't have the history. The history is in USDT, so if I ever want to look at price action for World Liberty Financial, I'll have to go to USDT chart, but that's fine. I'm content nonetheless that we could use USDC as margin. Anyways, back to the normal stuff. Cardano good rise today. 4.35% up. That is great. And if we close practically where we are right now or higher, uptrend confirmed. And I guess I might as well, right? It's practically going to get confirmed in the next hour or two. So your uptrend for Cardano will look like this. And I accidentally moved it, but I think I might even just delete this. My entries down here will probably not get filled. I'll leave them there nonetheless because it's like I don't need the money. It could just stay there. If it does get filled, good. If not, good. I would rather it get filled, of course, but we didn't retrace far enough. So I only got one peasant entry on Cardano. I think I got two in total. Yeah, two. I'm not sure how much they were. 250 and 500 probably. Totals to 750 right now. We're at 86 for Cardano, and yeah. Yeah, we should be in an uptrend really soon, and this is what it should look like. So, optimistic for that. I do want to confirm that I have the exact bottom here, so, oh, well. Maybe there. Great. Technically also about to enter overbought territory. I could take profits on this. Might regret not. I could. I really could. But it's only 100. I don't know. We'll see where we end with the stream. See the uptrend? I mean, the super trend kind of disappeared over here because price went right below the 86.79, and there it appears again. So we do need this candle to close above that level to have the super trend already flipped, right? So crucial moment for Cardano there. And Stellar also top gainer, kind of. It reached a high of 38.4. My entry was 37.7. We're at 37.5 right now, cents. So uptrend confirmed. That's really good. And I am really overexposed into Stellar, but I don't mind because I think it's got a lot of good potential here. I might take profit at a very reasonable level, 49. Where do you even draw this uptrend from? I don't think I should go this far back, but I will. And then I'll draw like a more short-term uptrend. I really can't find a short-term one. Like, it's gonna extend shallower, right? Not steeper, so I guess this is the only one we could really use. It's not looking that good, but it's what we got to work with, so we're gonna have to deal with it. What else have I entered? Sonic, it's kind of becoming green. Yeah, I do kind of regret not fully entering. I think I adjusted my positions to these two levels for Sonic. I'm still really bullish on the project. I still think we're super, super early. Like, it's painfully early for Sonic. I adjusted my entry on Aave, and it got filled overnight, so that dropped my average price to 304. Current price is 301. We hit a low of 297 there. And then I have another order that I should be readjusting up here. Why? Just confirming Fibonacci here. Yeah, Fibonacci is good. So it's just basically the pivot that kind of changed. I do want to confirm how much I'm putting in here before I readjust it. 10, 95096, 273.62. That's 1,000. Really? What did I put into Aave? 200, 250, 500, and then here I'm going to put 1,000. Am I for real? Yeah, I think I will. It's not like we're going to hit this anyway. Right? So, okay, well, I need the calculator again. 275, 15, 5. I could probably do this math in my head, but too lazy, and I'm on stream, and I just messed up. 550. Why? Oh, my number lock is off. 550, 21 divided by 2. There's your entry. Still doing the one-handed thing. Is this right? Okay. That's what I've got for Aave. Okay, cool. We'll see how that goes. Should be fine. My meme coin plays are up. Pengu is up. I entered with blowing chunks. If you're out there, congrats. We're in the green at last. I'm making 167, 168 on this. I didn't get to purchase a second entry, which, I don't know. Was this technically my fault? Like, we didn't really hit the support level exactly, so I don't think I'm at fault here. I'll readjust this one. It's a $500 entry. 00. Okay, well, I messed up already. 0275. No. I'm not reading this properly. 27165. 0.027296. It's that divided by 2. Alright, here's the entry. And it was 500. Just readjusting it. Same kind of idea, though. And I don't even know. It might not even get filled. We're already so far up. But it's a meme coin. Anything can happen to it. Should I take profit? What have we reached? We reached 04, and this is also same deal what I just showed with with World Liberty Financial, is that it finally got a USDC margin trading pair. So Pengu did the same thing, but the actual history on the charts is in USDT, so I still drew a Fibonacci based off of, you know, the best levels that I could. And yeah, this is what I got going for it. I can't really draw an uptrend because there's no history, but it's technically there, so we're good. I'm happy with that. Pepe is also active. I don't think I entered anymore. No, I did not. My entry was all the way down there. Very far. It's also flipped to an uptrend, and it's making some return at last. I'll leave it there and see who gives the biggest return, Pengu or Pepe. So far, Pengu is in the lead. That is crazy. And finally, Aptos. Aptos also finally in the green. I always mentioned probably safest play, but I did not put my money where my mouth is because I only dropped 1,000 in here. Still not too bad. Would have rathered much more, though. Much more. Alright, well, it's fine. Cool, there is your technical analysis. Well, Aptos price is 441. I forgot to mention that. Not technically overbought yet, so we can continue rising. Bitcoin is on the way down, though. All right, so what has been going on? First of all, Trump obviously commenting on Chicago. The murder capital of the world is what he's calling it. This, of course, has to do with lots of crime activity there and the fact that the governor doesn't want the United States federal police to help reduce the crime there, which is odd. Trump is not just doing his best and also insulting the guy to try to get him to allow Trump's federal police to help secure the streets of Chicago, which I agree with. He did a good job in DC. Why not do it in Chicago? And people are asking him, come to New York, come to LA, come to everywhere else, right? Trump posted this saying 6 people were murdered in Chicago this weekend. 12 others were shot and in serious condition. This would mean that over the past number of weeks, approximately 50 people were killed and hundreds were shot, many expected to die. Governor Pritzker just stated that he doesn't want federal government help. Why? What is wrong with this guy and the 5% in polls mayor? I want to help the people of Chicago, not hurt them. Only the criminals will be hurt. We can move fast and stop this madness. The city and state have not been able to do the job. People of Illinois should band together and demand protection. It's only going to get worse. Act now before it's too late. Thank you for your attention, matter. So, yeah, I agree with this kind of call to action. Why are you not allowing the federal government help when they're offering it to you? It's a no-brainer. You want to stop the crime in your city? Do something about it, right? If you're not doing something about it, get some help to get it done, right? I think one of his responses, Pritzker, this guy, I think it was that guy, was like, oh, it's a city. There is going to be crime in the cities all the time. Get over it. Like, his response was something to that degree, so odd. Anyways, the Secretary of War, Pete Hegseth, man, I can't just say how cool that name is. Like the title, Secretary of War. Anyways, he just arrived in Puerto Rico, where President Trump has deployed fighter jets to take on Venezuelan cartels. Seems like the situation is getting a little serious. I haven't really looked at prices of oil, but last I checked, it was already on the rise. Okay, it's relaxed a little. It was like over here when I last checked, and I'm like, oh, it's too late to be investing in oil now. I missed the train. The train entry was down here. It was oversold right there, so I was too late. But an unannounced trip. Cartels are about to learn why our defense budget is closing in on $1 trillion. So, yeah. He gave some speeches to the soldiers there. The USS USS Iwo Jima. I don't know what that is, honestly, but make no mistake about it. What you're doing right now is not training. This is a real world exercise, is what he tells them. And he also commented on the title. The reason I like the name, the War Department of War, so much is not because I love war. It's because I seek love and love peace. Okay. Those who love and Am I having a stroke? Those who love and long for peace must prepare for war. Okay, I'm the defectuous one, it seems like. It makes sense, yeah. So he's saying it's not because we like war, that's why we changed the name. No, it's because we want peace, and to have peace, you gotta have war. That's the reasoning behind the name. Conor McGregor made an appearance at the White House. He says it's high time America was made aware of what's going on in Ireland. President Trump invited Conor McGregor to the White House for St. Patrick's Day, of course, Irish holiday. And Conor used the platform to tell the world about what's happening in Ireland. And for the record, yes, he is running for president. I've seen him campaigning around Twitter, so cool. Good for him. Seems like he knows what he's doing. France. Their government has collapsed after the Prime Minister, François Bayrou, lost a no-confidence vote, 364 to 194, which is the third government fall in under a year, leaving President Macron scrambling to appoint a new prime minister amid debt and political turmoil. So, I don't know. I don't know what's going on in France anymore, but they're not doing well. Some protests from French patriots announce massive nationwide strike on September 10, demanding new elections after Macron's government collapse. France belongs to the French. Out with Macron. I guess they're tired of all the immigration and the people in Paris. Russia slams US stablecoin push. This one was interesting, and it got me thinking, like, hey, maybe these guys are right. The special advisor to Putin, his name is Anton Kobyakov, says it's a scheme to shove, the stablecoin thing. It's a scheme to shove the $35 trillion US debt into crypto, then devalue it and reset the system. And that would be a big brain play. He might be right. I don't think it's going to happen, like, for real, but it's really interesting to think about that, because we're seeing all that stablecoin adoption, right? Why is the US pushing so hard suddenly just to get stable, everything on stablecoins, economic data on chain, adoption of all cryptocurrencies kind of thing, right? Maybe we put the $35 trillion into USDT, and then we cause the tether FUD, USDT crashes, and boom, you don't have to pay the $35 trillion debt anymore. Haha. Right? It would be big brain. But I don't think it's actually going to happen. But it's interesting. It's interesting nonetheless. Gold reaches a new all-time high. Right there. I mean, that is crazy. What's good is that Bitcoin tends to follow this, but of course the gold maxis are having a field day at the moment all over Twitter. Part of the reason why gold has been going up is the People's Bank of China, for example, increasing their gold holdings in August for the 10th month again. The diversification away from the dollar is real. Gold is at the center of it all. This mainly means, like, we've seen this kind of stuff happen from countries like China before. They're selling US bonds, right? And they're using that money to buy gold instead, which kind of to weaken the US dollar kind of deal. So there's that going on, of course, and just general macroeconomic factors, the rate cuts that are coming. It's really had its impact on gold mainly, is what we were seeing. Peter Schiff, of course, we know is the most bullish person on gold. It's what it seems like. He says he made a comment on Tom Lee's appearance on live TV, talking about Bitcoin and how it could reach 200,000 by the time Christmas time rolls around. That's a little exaggerated, but I think we will be up for sure, but maybe not 200,000. Like, we would have to double in price practically. Yeah, I don't know. It could happen. I'm not ruling it out. Like, anything can happen here. Supply shock can just hit us all at once. Maybe the rate cuts are just so good. Maybe we do get the 3 rate cuts, So there's plenty of reasons why we could see Bitcoin hitting 200,000, but like, me being like conservative and not, how do I say this? Like, expecting I don't want to be underwhelmed, underdelivered. So I'm setting my expectations low. Reasonable, but low. That's why I have my take profits on Bitcoin at something like 135,000. Can it reach 150? Maybe, yeah, sure. And a lot of people think it will, like actually. And you have other people that are claiming 180, 200, 220,000. I think that's a little too much, but I'm not ruling it out. Like, if I wake up tomorrow and see Bitcoin at 220,000, I'd be like, hey, you know, it is what it is. I guess it makes sense, right? But here, anyways, we're talking about Peter Schiff's comments on what Tom Lee has mentioned. He says, Permabull fund strategist Tom Lee forecast Bitcoin will hit 200,000 by year end, as Bitcoin is sensitive to Fed rate cuts. He said the Fed's 2-month pause is why Bitcoin hasn't rallied over that time period. But look at gold. It rallied 10% during those 2 months, and it hit a record of 3,620 as we speak. Markets are looking forward. That is why gold is up 10% in advance of the coming rate cuts. Bitcoin's failure to rally with gold, based on the same prospects, should cause him concern. Instead of hitting 200,000 by year end after the Fed cuts rates, it's more likely to sink below 100,000, is Peter Schiff's comments. I disagree with that. I still think we will continue rising, just not to 200,000. I'll agree with him on that. And like I just said, Bitcoin does tend to trail the movement of gold. It has a certain period of time that it lags behind, kind of like what I've shown with the M2 money supply. And it's not perfect. I always say that it's not one-to-one. It's not exact. It's not perfect. There are deviations most of the time. So, but overall, like the projection is still the same. If we are to follow M2 money supply, we should expect some explosive growth soon. If we are expected to follow gold, we should experience an all-time high soon for Bitcoin as well. So that's the kind of idea behind this. Digital gold will follow. He says there's no digital gold. La la la. There is. And Tom Lee responded to this saying, I always appreciate your perspective, but to get better educated on crypto and Bitcoin and Ethereum, please get the premium service. He's just, you know, plugging his own stuff. Use evidence-based research to understand markets and to build a portfolio. And it's a 30-day free trial is what he's got. So funny. We'll see, Peter Schiff, if things do continue. So of course, Tom Lee, great. He's doing the evangelizing on Ethereum mainly, but also for Bitcoin. But we know the Bitcoin evangelist is Michael Saylor. And we did discuss the fact that MicroStrategy, the company, did not get added to the S&P 500 during this quarter, which was unfortunate. And instead, they chose Robinhood to add to the S&P 500, which, by the way, I do remember. Let's have a look at Robinhood. I think it was on its way up today. I did see like a 10% rise or something. I don't know how it closed today. Okay, will we close that exactly an all-time high? Perfect. Just as I predicted. Am I just not good at my job, guys, or what? So anyways, MicroStrategy. Okay, I always confuse the name because it's Michael Saylor. MicroStrategy. I'll say Michael Strategy or Micro Saylor. I don't know. I confuse the names a lot. I'm sorry. But Saylor says MicroStrategy did not expect to be included in the S&P 500 anyway in its first quarter of eligibility. But he is confident that Strategy will be able to join the S&P 500 in the future. We figure it will happen at some time is what he says. On live TV as well, of course. And yesterday he posted the good old orange chart. So guaranteed purchase. There you go. Strategy has acquired almost 2,000 Bitcoins at a price of 200 million approximately. Average price of 111,196. Practically where we are right now. We're at 111,293. Why are we crashing so hard? They now hold 638,000 Bitcoins. Good stuff for MicroStrategy. So, yep, great. They bought. If you were interested in how much money the Trump family has made ever since the launch of World Liberty Financial, it seems like that number is $1.3 billion to their net worth due to Bitcoin and crypto investments. So, I don't know, he's getting really rich off of this whole crypto stuff. But aren't we all? Okay. Next. I want to talk about this first. According to Zach XBT, we love the guy. European crypto exchange Swissborg was exploited a few hours ago for 192.6 thousand Solana, so $41 million cyber attack. Solana's network remains uncompromised. It was just a centralized exchange exploit. Solana's fundamentals stay strong. Practically no fees. 65,000 transactions per second. 83 million active addresses. So this does not impact Solana in any way. It's just an exchange that got hacked. Cool. But there's more. Not specifically related to this, but just another cyber attack that has happened today. A massive supply chain attack just hit the JavaScript ecosystem. There are 18 core NPM packages that were hacked, including Chalk, Strip, ANSI, and Debug. Bear with me, I know it all sounds like a bunch of software engineer terms, but it will make sense. These libraries have over 2 billion weekly downloads. Here's what happens, how it affects crypto, and how to stay safe. So this is from today. The NPM account of developer Quix was hacked through a phishing email. They fell for it again, the phishing email. The oldest trick in the book. Attackers pushed malicious updates to 18 widely used packages. So, like I said, this is code that you basically download. It's like an extra file. You install a package, and it's like, how do I explain? Like pre-built code that you could use to assist to continue your own code, something to help your environment so that you can run your code. They modified Chalk, Strip, ANSI, Color, Convert, Debug, ErrorX, and ANSI styles. The phishing domain was registered just 3 days before the attack. Crazy. Like literally fresh account. And they created it to hack. Well, to attempt to scam this guy. Who is this guy again? I just opened something. So just an account of is Quix a person or the company? I've never heard of Quix. Quix. Well, it is a puzzle. Okay, so it's a guy. Yeah, it's literally a guy. Okay. So some guy got hacked, who had access, of course, to developer tools to create those NPM packages or modify them. Once they got access, they moved fast. Malicious versions were live within hours. These libraries are foundational. They sit deep inside most web apps, which is why the impact is so dangerous, right? Anybody could use these little templates, packages, whatever you want to call them. And of course, you modify the code in it, you're going to affect everybody that uses that package. The malware is a crypto clipper built to steal funds. It works in 2 ways. Passive address swap, so it will silently replace the wallet address inside of decentralized apps. And active hijacked, it intercepts live transactions before signing and swaps the destination address. That is just mind-blowing. You know how, I don't even know if you guys have ever tried sending crypto. It'll show you like the address you're sending it to. Are you sure you want to send it? Yes, make sure, of course, you copy and paste it correctly. There's no missing digits or QR code, however you want to do it. And when you sign off on the transaction, it has to get validated and sent to the blockchain. From there, these packages actually modify the destination address and change it to their own, of course, making them, of course, receive your funds. Crazy stuff. This makes it almost invisible, yeah, because it's happening like in the back end. The malware uses the Levenstein algorithm to replace your wallet address with one that looks visually similar. Interesting. How did they even do that? You think you are sending to your own wallet, but you're sending it to theirs. This is a post created by the... What is the guy's name? Ledger CTO. His name is Charles Guillen. The attacker's main Ethereum wallet is this one. He found some backup wallets as well. I'm sure Zach XBT will get involved to try to figure out who this belongs to. How this started. Developers first noticed strange build errors, like fetch is not defined. Like I said, you need those packages to build your code. When they inspect the code, they found heavy obfuscation hiding functions like check Ethereum W, a clear sign that this was targeting crypto. If you build or use apps connected to crypto, you should use a hardware wallet, carefully check addresses before signing, pin exact package versions in package JSON, like I said, the file that where you put all your packages, run npm CI instead of npm install. Really. This is all software developer talk, so I'm sorry. Rotate your GitHub and npm keys now. This time, the community caught it fast, but the fact that 2 billion weekly downloads were compromised shows how fragile our systems are. For more information, check this post, and this is the post from Charles Guillen, the CTO at Ledger. So, public service announcement, of course, crypto users are asked to exercise extreme caution in their transactions, as the extent and scope of a major malware issue are under investigation. So please, for your own safety, this goes for you too, double, triple check every single digit when signing any transactions when you're about to send any crypto anywhere. So, yep. Hackers hijacked NPM packages in what's being called the largest supply chain attack ever, redirecting crypto transactions to the attacker's wallets. The Ledger CTO warns hardware wallet users to verify every transaction and advises others to avoid web-based on-chain activity until it is patched. The names, we already covered them. So yeah, be careful for if you're using a hardware wallet. Do not do on-chain transactions. So we'll read what Charles Guillemette said, saying, there's a large-scale supply chain attack in progress. The NPM account of a reputable developer, Quix, has been compromised because of the phishing attack. The affected packages have already been downloaded over 1 billion times, meaning the entire JavaScript ecosystem may be at risk. Okay, that is a big thing. But it was mainly a specific attack to crypto. The fact that only those crypto-related packages were modified maliciously, that's how they knew to look at crypto. Because this is just a JavaScript developer, Quix, the guy, right? Who, if you don't know what a phishing attack is, it's basically like, hey, you're going to get locked out of your account. You get an email that says something like that, right? You're going to get locked out of the account. Click on the suspicious link to reset your password now. You click on it, it takes you to the login page of a familiar website that you know. It happened to me one time with Instagram. Like, the login page for Instagram was just perfect. It said, okay, log in. I'm like, okay. It wasn't like that specifically for me, though. Like, it was like a different way I got hacked, like with a different story, right? The reasoning why I had to click on a link and log in. But the thing is, you put your login details, it says, oh, your login information is incorrect. Try again. You try putting different like email and password combinations. Little do you know, all that your email and your password combinations are being sent to a database of the hacker, right? He then gets it, oh, somebody fell for it. This is why it's called phishing. Like, somebody took the bait. I've got a lot of this person's username and passwords. Now I'm going to try signing in on the real application, in my case, Instagram. And that's how they got in. And yep. So that's how it happens. This guy gets his JavaScript developer account hacked into, and the malicious attacker changes the packages, which everybody that has those packages downloaded gets affected by it, of course. The malicious payload works by silently swapping crypto addresses on the fly to steal funds. If you use a hardware wallet, pay attention to every transaction before signing, and you're safe. If you don't use a hardware wallet, refrain from making any on-chain transactions for now. Crazy. It's still unclear whether the attacker is also stealing seeds from software wallets directly at the stage. That would be insane. Like stealing your seeds, you know, the 24 seed phrase. Like anybody with the seed phrase can just get another wallet of the same kind as yours, put in those seed phrases, which is just a bunch of random words from the dictionary, and they have access to all your cryptos. So, you know, you got to be careful with that. Not your keys, not your crypto. If you're on a centralized exchange, you're probably fine, but still, just watch out for that. If you use a Ledger hardware wallet with clear signing, you're not at risk. A tweet above is warning people who do not use a hardware wallet with clear signing of the risk. Always review every transaction before you sign. And Ledger themselves, the company, said that the devices are not and have not been at risk during an ecosystem-wide software supply chain attack that was discovered. So if you own a hardware wallet with Ledger, you're fine, don't worry. The Ledger devices are built specifically to protect users against attacks like these. Only Ledger devices have secure screens powered by the secure element chip to ensure what you see on screen is exactly what you sign. Ledger supports, hold on, clear signing, enabling human-readable transaction details for verification, and transaction check on device, which warns users of potential scams. Remember, never blind sign, and always verify addresses before you approve transactions. I tend to fall into this category of blind signing, but that's because I've just transferred many times before, and it's like, yeah, it's the same wallet address. What's changed? But still, I mean, if you're off chain, don't worry, right? If you're using a hardware wallet, but if you're doing on chain transfers, yeah, you should still pay attention to every letter, digit. I mean, just re-add the wallet just to be safe. Again, right? That's kind of what I would suggest. Maybe your private keys and recovery phrase remain safe. Clear signing on the secure screen means you always see the real address before approving. All right, cool. So that's kind of what we got, and Arkham, of course, also tracking all that stuff. They're seeing that a total of $159. Really, just 159? Are you sure you're not missing $1 million in there? This has got to be fake, right? $159 stolen so far in the NPM supply chain attack. These coins were sent to addresses tagged in the original write-up shared by Ledger's CTO. Are you sure? 249 feels painfully little. It's now increased to 486. And it's not in the millions. This is literally $486 that's been hacked so far. Crazy. And we can track this live. That's just the beauty of blockchain. It's probably the North Koreans. It's pretty funny. Anyways, so putting all that behind us, we'll talk about some positive stuff. Solana has some updates to bring us another week, another step closer to internet capital markets. With Galaxy and Superstate tokenizing Galaxy on Solana, the first time a public company has natively issued SEC-registered equity on the network. USD1 went live on Solana with day one integrations for the 2 billion plus supply stablecoin with BonkFun, Radium Protocol, and Camino Finance. USD1, if you don't know, is the stablecoin provided by World Liberty Financial. It's using Solana as its blockchain. Remora Markets brought tokenized stocks to Solana, available for traders on DeFi Tuna. So if you use this suspicious exchange, you could trade tokenized stocks. The first spot Solana ETF with staking in Central Asia went live in Kazakhstan with Font Capital's SETF, which has been officially listed on the Astana International Exchange. I've never seen these, but cool. I'm not sure if I should read through all of this, but because some of them is like not that relevant, I feel. It's news nonetheless, but hey, if you really care, you could read it right there. Yields, okay. Xfractal.fun launched their natural language processor for advanced research and analysis on every Solana token. Okay. I don't think there's anything more relevant. Pump Fun surpassed $2 million in creator fee claims in just 24 hours after launching Project Ascend. A tokenized Pokemon card trading accelerated with Collector Crypt, adding $13 million in net new revenue in August. I thought Pokemon blockchain was going to happen on Sui, if I recall correctly. Am I wrong? I thought it was going to happen on Sui, right? Maybe. Pretty sure I covered that like many months ago. Pokemon. Alright. Well, that's what's been going on with Solana. Good stuff overall. Um, HSBC and ICBC, which are the largest banks in the world by assets, they plan to apply for stablecoin licenses in Hong Kong. Good for adoption. USDD decentralized stablecoin from Tron has finally arrived now on Ethereum. From now on, everyone has a decentralized choice when it comes to stablecoins. USDD, it's yet another stablecoin. It's growing. You could swap and join mining activities with up to 12% APY, unless Justin Sun indirectly sells your tokens, of course. It's, I'm just trolling, you know, World Liberty Financial stuff. And our last bit of news for Sonic, not necessarily Sonic, but it has to do with NASDAQ. They filed with the SEC to enable tokenized securities trading, which is a historic move by a U.S. traditional exchange. NASDAQ is in favor of tokenized stocks or ETF or whatever. Tokenization is now becoming Wall Street policy, and Sonic is the fast global chain built to scale it, which I agree with. If you're going to use a chain to trade tokenized stocks and stuff like that, you want something really fast and efficient. And I think Sonic is probably the best. It's already got, you know, the US, the government's vote to be in the United States ecosystem, right? And the 400,000 transactions per second, severely undervalued right now. Maybe we do need a bit more trust in the project from institutional investors, so we probably just need that catalyst. But once one starts, you know, trading on it, more will follow. Cool. Overall, a decent day for Bitcoin and crypto. Kind of coming down already, erasing all the gains right now. But it's fine. Like I said, I saw all of these in the green this morning. So I've not lost faith at all. Like, if anything, it has reinforced my faith in what I have purchased. Matter of fact, I could just DCA a little more. I don't think I will, though. I'll leave stuff where they are because you got to be prepared for the inevitable drop whenever that does happen. So that'll be all for today. Great. Thanks, guys, so much for watching. Hope you enjoyed. Hope you learned something new. Thanks for subscribing as well. I will not see you tomorrow. I will be busy tomorrow. But I'll be back Wednesday and we'll discuss PPI. Or is it CPI? It's CPI. Okay. No, it's not. It's PPI. I was right. So we'll discuss what happened by then. Should bring us some decent volatility, although I think CPI will be most important compared to the two. And then, of course, big day next week, Wednesday, of course, the Fed interest rate decision. Which, does it show here that we're expecting a cut? It does. So, should be good overall. I don't know why we are not much higher, but we're probably early still. So, great.